Hi, this is Scott from Spectre Gear with another Tactical Shotgunner Pro Tip, and today I'm going to be talking about a loading technique. And the kind of running theme between all of the stuff I've been talking about is trying to make everything as consistent as possible. And one of the things that you do want to make very consistent is the manner in which you load the shells into the magazine tube on your weapon. And I've seen a number of different ways this is done. Sometimes people will extract a round out and they'll hold it by the base like this, and then they'll just kind of stick it up in and then work it around and get their thumb. That's a way, but not a very efficient way. The reason being is at some point you're going to need to get your thumb in there. And that port at the bottom of the weapon is only wide enough to accommodate the base. So you got to do a little bit of moving around. So what I want to show instead is a much more consistent technique, and it's going to allow you also on the fly to identify what type of round that you're loading. So whenever I extract a round from a pouch, a side saddle, a belt carrier, or whatever, I extract it out and I do a technique called traying the round. And what that is I hold the round, or where it should end up in my hand, is with my little finger at the base, and I can identify that because I can feel that primer. I can feel the actual base of the shell itself. I know what I've got there. The two middle fingers, your ring and middle finger, rest on the shell itself, and then your index finger is at the front of the shell. And with that, I can use that index finger and I can feel for either a crimp or I can feel for an actual round. So I can tell the difference between whether or not I'm grabbing around a buckshot or whether I'm grabbing a slug. So it's just one of those little things that you want to start ingraining in your system. And then when it comes to the actual load itself, a good rule of thumb to follow is I try to locate with the outside edge of my little finger contacts the front of the trigger guard. And then I know that if I just follow that forward, it's going to go right into the port. And then all I do is just replace my little finger with my thumb and run the shell in. So I extract it out of the pouch. I know what I have without looking at it. I know that's my tip, that's my base, and I find that trigger guard, run it forward into the port, and then into the magazine tube. If you happen to get it backwards, you'll know right away. That won't feel right. You do it enough, and automatically that tactile feel. So this is something you don't have to look at, and then you can just move it around, get it aligned the way you need it, and you never have to look at the shell even once, so you know what you've got when you're loading it in. There is a possibility, it is possible, by the way, to load around backwards into the gun, and that creates a rather interesting jam to clear. It's no fun at all. I don't recommend it. I've also seen people load chapstick. I've seen all manner of weird things loaded into magazine tubes over my many years on the range. But again, this is a real cool, interesting technique to adopt. And again, it's one of those things you just want to practice, get it consistent so that every time you load, no matter what you're pulling from, and for instance, if it was a side saddle, I would do exactly the same thing. Extract it out, tray it just like so, and then run it in. So with that, I'll go ahead and bring it to a close. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.